and gentlemen, you can get this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the top 10 plays of the Major.
I'm excited for this one.
I mean, we saw an insane amount of plays, and let me also say, just like I said last episode, there were an insane amount of plays, and you can always make an argument that a certain play got left out or a certain play should have been ranked higher. We chose 10 plays that we think were insane, were impactful, important matches, the fans loved, and if we left out your favorite play, we apologize. If you think
it's only two of us morons trying to pick through.
You have a dumb duo trying to rank the top 10 plays of an entire Major.
I'm sure that we write them down, but I'm sure that other shows have probably teams of people that figure this stuff out. But without further ado, let's hop into the top 10.
And coming in at number 10, we have
Too Real, the Pillow. I believe this was just an ace.
Yep.
Yeah. First in their game against Thieves. This was after the map 1.
Yep.
Goes on. He's snaking nothing right now, but the Pillow is an absolute issue on the map.
And let me say, you never know if someone's new to competitive Call of Duty, and Ace is finding all 4 kills in a search and destroy round. Speaking of New York that are on thin ice, we still have Hydra making it to the top 10 plays. He had a crazy sequence here against Florida on green, on Mercado, so obviously still one of the best players in the world. He can find kills like this, and if you hear this kid's alive in green, you're saying, I'm going 10.
Yeah. You can see here, he just absolutely rips through this Florida roster. They end up losing this series in the end, but he goes on a nice little 6 streak, propels his team, gets the momentum, and that's number 9.
And here's an insane turn-on from Pred. I mean, there's nothing better than seeing a nice little turn-on, especially on the grandest stage. Unfortunately for Exceed, that snapback is ripped right off his head. Pred turns and burns, the best Australian we've seen. Number 7.
Next up, let me get this one. Dan Ghosty. Yeah. An absolute snap, and it's not just a snap, it's a snap in a critical moment. This is to win the map. It would have been a round 11, 5-5 to go down 0-2. So winning them and closing the map right there is just absolutely huge.
Yeah, that kid shut everybody the hell up, and there is a lot of optic in this because we've seen some crazy plays. Here, Shotzzy in our breakdown team of the week. I mean, we could talk all day about the kid and how he played at the Major. He was lights out in here. Just like any top SMG, if you have Shotzzy or Pred or Hydra or abezy, anybody running around maps in a spawn trap on control on Fortress, you might as well put that controller down, go get yourself a water, and walk back to your setup because there's fucking nothing you can do in this situation.
Yeah, you see him. He's just getting loose. Kyler ends up dying, but what does that mean for Shotzzy? It means that he's just going to come back and end up getting some of those trades. It looks like he's going to do that pinch again.
Yep.
And the Joe Pinchington, and he's still going.
Yeah, and watch. He hits this snake here, and then he just flies.
Let me see that emote.
I mean, look at him go.
Sure.
See you, Reese.
A quick 8 streak from Shotzzy. I don't know if he keeps on going here, but he does not.
And now for our top 5. Look at him, the Goomba. I mean, it's abezy. We can talk about this player all day. Again, another player in the conversation for best player in the world. Here, he's playing against Thieves, which I think at this moment still everybody's saying these are the number 1 and 2 teams respectively in the game. So a lot on the line here. FaZe, they look dominant in this series, and abezy looks dominant here. I mean, what's impressive about him is he will just fight you. He'll sprint at the best players in the world, and he'll somehow keep finding kills. It doesn't make sense.
He doesn't have an off button, and the guy just keeps flying, and he's catching people off guard. Number 4. I actually don't.
Ace
this
Shotzzy.
Was the Shotzzy ace. Yeah, this was absolutely insane. He gets the first 2, busting through the low checkers door, pops that deadie, and you just know that he's about to get loose. You can't let him get going. And for this reason, I believe he climbs up the ladder, or does he go through checkers? He climbs up the ladder, goes through top money, ends up getting a sound cue or a call out. I'm not sure which one.
He finds the guy off bomb, jumps down.
Yeah, right
kills,
here got
I believe. Is it Joe? Yeah, Joe's alive.
Right
so he
here
kills
got
the guy
sketchy.
off bomb. Not really.
Well, for him, because he went out through money and he didn't see Wake.
Some bad time in there. Top 3. I mean, here he is again.
This was
the sequence.
This was the sequence that I said was probably one of the smoothest things that I've seen on this game.
Yeah, especially versus FaZe. I mean, he gets tank control, and he's just finessing the pack like Messi.
Right here, this is nuts.
Let's see those emotes.
Look at that form.
Good form.
Look how much time he buys. He kills Simp, keeps snaking him, buys time, and then this is just nuts. I mean, to be able to do that first try.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that is It's nuts.
I would have fell and got picked right in the big doorway like a moron. They'd say, what the fuck is Zin doing?
Yeah, we said that he was lathered up in butter. And
you said lubed up in butter.
Whatever. That is the reason why. What a play.
Top 2, not talking Jeter. This is Kyler. I mean, this is a 1v4 in a time where you need it most. You're down 1-0 in your elimination game. If anybody needs this right now, it's the green wall, and somehow, some way, he pulls it out of the hat.
Yeah. Some people might not say, or might say, why is this in here? Again,
it's a 1v4.
It's a 1v4, and the timing of it is nuts. We lose map 1. Yeah. We're about to go down 3-1 after throwing around, and Kyler comes up big, shuts down all of their momentum. There's a reason why it's number 2 in our top 10.
And now it's time for number 1.
I think some people will probably guess which one this is.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's Brandon Dashy with an insane 4-piece. Michael Myers. I mean, the kid's shooting well. He's knifing people. An insane sequence. So those were our top 10 plays. Once again, you can move them around. You can shift them how you want. You could add a player or two.
2-man eyeballs looking for top 10.
Those plays for us were ones that stood out and ones that, sure, maybe even in hindsight, you're like, oh, I can do that in ranked play, but these players are doing it on the biggest stage in front of hundreds of thousands watching worldwide.
Yeah,
with a crowd screaming at the top of their lungs.
It's impressive.
Adrenaline pumping. It's one thing to watch it from where we're sitting, and it's one thing to actually do it. These guys do it.
It's impressive, nonetheless. Congrats to everyone that made the top 10. I'm sure that they probably don't give a fuck, but it's cool.
I mean,
it's cool to be on the breakdown top 10.
Dashy's call Mama Dashy. Yeah, I was in the number 1 play of the breakdown.
He might be.
He should.
Let's get into our final segment.